So today's theme, you may have noticed, is celebrating our hard-working feet, or just our feet. Our feet come everywhere with us, and they go through a lot that during the day quite often we don't even notice because we're busy thinking. We're in our minds, in our heads, thinking about what we need to do later, what we did yesterday, and we're not really focused on them until there is a problem. And of course, once there's a problem, we notice them much more. So this is a meditation practice today that's going to help us to reconnect our mind and body a little bit more by bringing us back to our feet, to the present moment. So if you remember the definition of mindfulness, it's the awareness that emerges when we learn how to pay attention to the present in a particular way, which is deliberately, on purpose, and non-judgmentally. Okay, so take part as much or as little as you like. Let's go. So your first task is just to get yourself a comfortable position, either seated or laying down. I'd say the ideal for this is probably to be sat with your feet connecting to the floor, and you may want to consider whether to take your shoes off as well so that your feet can really connect with the floor, but it's entirely up to you. So find yourself a nice comfortable position, sat or laying down, and I'm going to invite you now just to close your eyes. So as always with everything that I suggest, it's an invitation rather than a command. So do what feels right for you. If it's not safe for you or it doesn't feel right for you to close your eyes where you are, then perhaps just rest your gaze lightly on the floor in front of you instead. Whatever feels right for you. So let's take a moment then, just to simply tune in and check in on what is here right now. So we've all experienced a day, probably lots of things happened, maybe lots of conversations. Even if you haven't seen or spoken to anyone, there'll be lots of thoughts, lots of feelings and sensations. Just simply take a moment to check in with what's here for you right now in this moment. At this stage we're simply checking in with it, a bit like taking a register. So with a register you wouldn't necessarily ask everyone how they are, you're just seeing if they're there. We're doing the same. Just noticing those thoughts, feelings and sensations that we might be bringing to this particular meditation practice today in this moment. And when you're ready and it feels right for you, let's expand our attention. Let's expand it to our body, to the whole of our body, sat or laying here, breathing. Right now, in this moment, seeing if you can connect with what that's like. Perhaps getting a sense of the space that you take up. Perhaps getting a sense of how your body is right now. Perhaps it's tired or achy. Perhaps it's energetic and alive. Just seeing if you can really tune in and connect with the body, your body, as it is right now in this moment. See if you can notice any areas of tension, perhaps in your back or your neck or your shoulders. If you do notice them, then you may want to just simply move a little. You may want to just gently circle your shoulders. Or you may want to just gently move your neck. Just allowing yourself to experience being in your body as it is right now in this moment. Body when it's still, and your body as you gently move it. So that whatever is here in your body right now, you're just noticing that it's here. After all, it's here anyway. But simply acknowledging that this is how it is right now. And when you're ready, we're going to move our attention. As I mentioned, this meditation is all about bringing our attention to our feet. If for some reason you can't or choose not to use your feet, then you may wish to choose another area of your body, like your hands, to bring your attention to. Simply adapting my guidance to what is right for you. So I'd like you to play with an idea using your imagination, that when you breathe, you could breathe right in through your nose or your mouth, whatever feels right for you, and that breath could go all the way down your body. Instead of stopping at your lungs, it could, through perhaps your bloodstream, travel all the way down to your feet, and that breath could carry your awareness, your consciousness, right the way down there too. So the awareness that starts as the breath enters the body travels all the way down into the soles of your feet. You may wish to connect with both feet or one foot. The choice is up to you. Seeing if you can really put your awareness into your feet, particularly at this point into the soles of your feet. Perhaps noticing the connection with the floor or the surface. Perhaps noticing connection with your socks or shoes. Simply noticing the movement of air around your feet. Whatever there is to be noticed right now, just simply tuning into it. Allowing that awareness that's in your soles of your feet to spread to your toes. And not so much thinking about the feet and toes, but being aware of them. Noticing whatever there is to be noticed in this moment. As mindfulness can be something we do while still or active, you may choose, if you wish to move your toes, to gently wiggle them, if that's what feels right for you. You may even choose to just push them very lightly into the floor, or to tighten them into a ball and release. Whether you choose to be still or to move, the key thing is that you bring mindful awareness. So remembering that definition of mindfulness, the awareness that emerges as we pay attention to the present in that particular way, which is deliberately, on purpose, and non-judgmentally. Taking a moment to really tune in to both the soles of your feet and the toes. Whether you choose to have them still or gently move. When you're ready, allowing this attention just to spread a little bit further, so that it also involves the top of your foot and all the way along to your ankle and heel, so that you're holding the whole of your foot or feet and toes in awareness. Just tuning in to whatever is here right now to be noticed. Perhaps the sensation of connecting with the floor or the bed or whatever is supporting you. Perhaps a sense of warmth or coolness. Perhaps you're noticing the movement if you're wiggling your toes. Just noticing whatever is here right now. And that could include a sense of numbness or a blank, if that is what you notice here right now. That is every bit as much of an experience as any other sensation. Just allowing it to be here. Of course, at any time, the mind, being human, may decide to take you on a bit of a journey, a bit of a thought stream, away from the sensations and the experiences of the feet right now. Perhaps it takes you into thoughts of tomorrow or later, into memories, some related to the feet, some not. Some of these thoughts might be highly charged or emotional, others might be neutral. If you notice the mind taking you down the thought stream, taking you away from the experience of the feet right now, then when you notice it, simply congratulating yourself on noticing, on coming out of the autopilot of the mind, and guiding your attention back to the feet when you can. And if you need to move them slightly to help you to return to the feet, then feeling free to do so. This is your meditation, your experience. Adapt it to how you feel is right for you. Taking a moment now, while we're with our feet, to just see if we can kind of replay in our minds the last few hours in the life of our feet. Where have they been? What have they been on? What different sensations have occurred? What different temperatures? What's been pleasurable or uncomfortable or neutral? And just let this question just gently sink into your consciousness. Kind of like a small pebble going into water and gently sinking. What have I appreciated that my feet have allowed me to do today? Just allowing that to sink in. You don't have to answer it, just noticing if anything comes up for you. And when you're ready, just returning your attention to being with your feet right now in this moment. Once again, you may want to play around with a little bit of movement. Feel free to be playful, to express what you need to express, to move your feet or your toes, and making it all part of the practice, just tuning in to the intention to move, to the movement itself, and to any sensations after. Simply being with your feet as they are right now in this moment. When you're ready, just taking your attention back to where we began, with just tuning into the body as a whole. So not losing your focus on your feet, but allowing it to spread, to notice your feet as a part of the whole of you. Perhaps noticing points of contact, perhaps noticing any areas of tension that remain in the body. If you notice areas of tension, you could choose to move, to change your position to make it more comfortable, to gently begin some slight movement to help you release the tension. Making this all part of the practice, becoming aware of the intention to move, the movement itself, and the sensations after. Or you could also choose simply to imagine yourself breathing into that area, the area of tension. Kind of honing your attention in on one small place and exploring it with a curiosity. On the out breath, letting it go to the extent that it will. As we expand our attention a little further to take in the sounds around us that are coming to our ears. And then when you feel ready and it's right for you, starting to open your eyes, seeing if you can make it so there is no end to the practice. So I won't ring the bells today. There is no end to mindful practice. Just bringing the mindful awareness to your sight as you open your eyes. Slowly coming back to the world around you, taking care of yourself and your body if you need to move or stretch or anything. Trusting that you know how best to take care of your body better than anyone. Doing what feels right for you. So that was a brief meditation into our feet, into bringing our attention to our feet, which is a meditation that can really help us bring our minds and bodies back together. So for most of the day, they're not together. Our bodies continue while our minds go off in another direction. So that experience of kind of going through a task like washing up and realising afterwards that you don't remember a single thing of the washing up. You know you've done it, but you weren't really there. Your mind was somewhere else. This can help you really just bring your attention and your mind and your body back together, while also allowing us a sense of gratitude for what our bodies do for us during the day, even though they might not do quite what we would like them to do. Okay, so feel free to leave comments or questions, which I will always answer, and I will see you next week for more Mindful Mondays.